Hello, my name's Robert Thorn, and I've been a science and mathematics teacher internationally for over 30 years now. And I'd like to talk to you today about a new and innovative strategy to help young people with mathematics. Have you ever seen the faces of young people who just can't get it, who find the idea of algebra and rearranging formula as just some alien language? I have. I've seen lots of young people struggle with maths and gradually get turned off the subject, and also get turned off science where you have to use it. And you know, these days it's not really easy for people to get on in school or in life without being able to deal with mathematics and everyday problems in science. So I was really pleased to read Minee's strategy. And I must admit, at first I wasn't convinced. I mean, how can someone come up with a new approach to help with something that we've been having problems with for so long? I mean, surely someone would have come up with it by now already, yeah? So then I thought, well, what do I do when I come across a young person who is having those problems? And I was thinking, well, I spend a lot of time with them. I spend a great deal of time with them. But we know that there are many teachers in schools who don't have that time. And that's where Minee strategy comes in. It's great because it's so easy to follow, clear to read, attractive to engage with, and although teachers have found it useful to directly teach it, young people can actually figure it out for themselves. It's that straightforward. So if you haven't already, why not watch the 5 short videos that give you an idea of Minee strategy? You can find the links below. Why not purchase the books for yourself, or for your students, or your children, or for your school? Currently there are 2 books out. Minee Strategy, Convincing and Courting the Mind. That's for everyone. Minee for high school teachers and students. Minee Strategy evokes the imagination and engages young people naturally. For example, with its tree planting and fruit picking analogies. When you go through those materials, you should begin to see some differences between Minee strategy and the more traditional strategies taught in schools. And let's quickly summarize some of those. Perhaps one of the reasons that traditional strategies don't work for all young people is that they don't stimulate the mind to think. Whereas using Minee strategy, there is a focus on doing that. Partly it's done by separating and making the thinking process explicit, whereas the process traditionally is often taken for granted. Minee makes sure the learner plans before starting, whereas at school, we often get learners to start the solution directly. In this way, the starting point for Minee learners is always clear, whereas for many students using the traditional method, the starting point can be elusive. As the learner applies Minee strategy, they can clearly see options in the process, which makes sense and allow a higher degree of understanding, whereas the traditional approach often loses the learner as options are missed. And this engages the creative aspects of the mind and is the main reason I love Minee strategy, because all the learners can make use of it, and the process itself helps all learners develop by using it. So, as you can see, Minee strategy nurtures and guides learners because it implements steps accurately and carefully. So just to summarize, this is what I think. Minee is an easy and attractive strategy. It's easy to read and engaging the natural curiosity and creativity of young people. Minee is an effective strategy. It helps learners break things down to manageable, understandable steps. Minee can be applied directly anytime learners come up against formula, equations, other mathematical issues in science or even other subjects. You can be sure they can apply Minee strategy. So, while there are lots of aids out there, and there are hundreds of them, please check Minee strategy for one that's really engaging, fun, and effective. Thank you.